As part of planning the NDRP commissioned research project, we brought together researchers, government representatives, and disability representative organisations to talk about what's already known and what still needs to happen. Here's what we found out. The key messages were clear. We already know a lot about what helps young people with disability move into work, but that knowledge isn't always being used in practice. We need to focus on people who are missing out on current supports, and we need to make sure the project leads to real, practical change. Now let's look more closely at the themes that came through. Many things shape a young person's path to employment. For some, like young people with intellectual disability or complex support or communication needs, those paths are often harder to navigate. We know what works, but it's not always happening. There's been lots of research into what helps young people and what gets in the way. Many of the same ideas come up in both research and lived experience, but there are still gaps, especially for people with intersecting identities where there is less evidence available. We need to build skills across the sector. One big question was, if we know what works, why isn't it happening? We need to build knowledge and skills across schools, employers, universities, and service providers. So if we're going to be building, let's build on what's already working. There's strong interest in growing good practice and making sure it's used in mainstream services so that more people benefit. The project should prioritise people with complex support or communication needs and those facing multiple barriers. That includes First Nations young people who are disengaged from school, in youth justice, in out-of-home care, or who are accessing support through allied health or the NDIS. And to keep the project targeted, participants suggested focusing on one system, like education or employment, where it could make the biggest difference. And everyone agreed the project should be practical. It should lead to clear recommendations and real solutions that can be put into action. Finally, the commissioning process should reflect those goals. That means choosing researchers who understand the policy environment, and it means including people with disability in leadership and in paid roles. The commissioned research was shaped by all of these insights, as you'll see in our final video on how we made decisions on the commissioned research. If you'd like to find out more about this project, you can visit the NDRP website.